Hi. Um. Ooh, well. How's everyone doing? I'm. I'm doing pretty well, considering. Um. I'm take. As people who are probably wondering what I've been doing, I've been taking a break from Twitter for the most part, just checking in, not doing a whole lot, and then also Facebook as well, almost all social media. I really, I guess I just wanted to talk about like what I'm thinking probably of doing moving forward. And so for me, I I guess with the campaign being pretty much suspended and it pretty much being over, I did learn a lot. Um, I learned that it's not enough to just be a good person. You have to you have to be willing, as Benjamin Dixon pointed out, you can be a good person, but you have to be willing to do, I wouldn't say bad things, but sometimes you you are going to have to go for the jugular. And Bernie didn't do that. I mean, sure, I do kind of like that about him. Um, and I respect that you don't necessarily, that he doesn't, he tries to go straight to the issues, and that's great. But that did not help him, and by extension, us. So I guess, like, for me, I I guess, like, looking back, I would say there were a lot of mistakes made. Sure, they learned some lessons. The campaign did learn lessons from 2016, but they didn't learn enough. I guess, like, one of the things that I underestimated was the still powerful grip of mainstream media on, I guess, in the general public. I mean, I I mean, sure, I'm about 26, so I guess I was kind of hoping that most of the people under like 50 would just be like, okay, we gotta get out there, but we didn't. And I understand it's hard and it sucks, but it part of it did cost us. But there was huge election fraud. Again, I mean, I'm a little saddened that even some indie media didn't really cover this again, and could have brought this up campaign, but it didn't happen. I tried, but that didn't happen. And to be fair, it is tough to make the case as rigged when you're losing, when you're technically losing. And I guess for me moving forward, I would say focus on local elections if you are going to want to stay in electoral politics. I mean, for me, that's just one avenue of what I'm going to be doing. I know that there's a lot of people are planning strikes right now, or planning strikes right about now. Like with after the COVID-19 clears and we get the we we get the all clear to get like back to work, a lot of people are at least trying for like May Day to not just don't like not work, not shop, do nothing. in protest. And I'm definitely going to be participating in that. I'm going to try to help organizing with like DSA, Socialist Alternative, and then maybe like other organizations that are trying to like work with the essential workers, frontline workers, United or something, like things like that. And I'm definitely going to try and not, so for example, I'm trying to do like local elections. So for instance, Drew Duncan of Indiana State District 6, he's in the race this year. And I've met him. He's actually really cool. I've given him some of the eager scroungings I've gotten. And yeah, he's really good. He understands what's at stake, and he has lived experience. So he's not just using the buzzwords of progressivism or left populism. And I would say to you, if you are feeling a little lost, as a lot of us are, I would say try to see if there's like a DSA chapter, or like a socialist alternative chapter, or even like PSL, Green Party if you want to. I believe there's like Movement for a People's Party. And we're just like looking at this. And then if you want to stay inside the Democratic Party, okay. But if you do, because personally I think that moving forward we have to do a multi-pronged attack, at least type of attack moving forward. I would say personally try to get as many in as possible. There's like still a lot of great people who are on the ballot in down ballot races all over the country. I know Joshua for Congress on Twitter is really good. Like he's actually calling for abolishing the CIA, which that's like almost unheard of. Or Parsons in Washington State, Albert Lee in Oregon, Laura Ashcroft, Michael Owens, and I think like Georgia. Laura Ashcroft's from New York. Mel Gagarian is also New York. I will definitely be compiling a list of people that I feel are have values that align with mine if you want to follow them. And then I would say definitely follow these people, donate to these people, volunteer if you can, virtually, since we're all kind of stuck inside. I mean, come on. You'll have something to do. And because we need, and also please look at local races and not just congressional races, also local state representatives, assemblymen, assembly member, school boards, a board of elections. Like, for example, I spent a lot of time in Chicago, and the Chicago Board of Elections, the Cook County Board of Elections pretty much decides who wins Illinois. They're that powerful, and we need to take them out. In terms of like like in terms of like power, I'm not exactly sure. But yeah. And I know it's tough and it's hard, but we have to put into work. I mean, the Tea Party put into work, and look what happened. Looking in terms of the base, that's kind of part of the reason why Trump won, was because the Tea Party was made of people who were fed up with Republicans as they were, and they took over the party. I mean, to a point that Republicans fear their base. Democrats have disdain for their base, so I would say move to either a new party or just out of electoral politics if you want. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do, but I definitely will be trying my best in terms of just, I'm not sure, but I definitely will be, I guess, keep my options open. I know for a fact that I just can't vote for Joe Biden. I'm sorry. I just can't. I can't do it. I don't know if I'll be just going Green Party or staying home. That's kind of just, I don't know. And I guess for me, one thing I would say, no matter what we're doing, two things we have to look into moving forward is paper ballots and ranked choice voting. Because without those two, third parties and progressives in general, like the left in general, we can't get our candidates. Sure, we might get a few. A few might be able to squeak on by, but it's not going to happen if we don't have those two things. And then also try to, I think Michigan was pretty successful in getting the voters to do the redistricting. I would say definitely push for that in your state, in your local politics. And I'd say really try ballot initiatives. So one thing that I tried to look into was municipal broadband. Ron Placone over on YouTube has a playlist explaining what municipal broadband is, but just to give you a little description, a little tidbit of what it is. So basically, municipal broadband is the city or the municipal government owns the internet, like the internet connection, internet service provider. And oftentimes, if you look at Chattanooga, Tennessee, they have the best internet in the country for much lower rates than Comcast, AT&T, and the like. And especially since net neutrality is pretty much gone, I would say definitely look into that. Try to get, I know a lot of cities are looking into passing their own Green New Deals. Try to definitely go into that. I believe Sunrise Movement is definitely trying to push a lot of cities into making, having better commitments to passing their own version of Green New Deal, because let's face it, the federal government ain't doing crap. And maybe you can push on the state level. I'm just spitballing here. But what I'm trying to say is, do not give up. That is exactly what they want. I would say take some time. Take some time to yourself. I'm doing that right now. I'm taking some time to myself. I'm trying to just I guess, consider my options. I've been baking, I've been going out for walks, reading, writing fan fiction, so yeah, that's fun. Coding, just anything to help me relax throughout all of this, because I have, I am on the disorder spectrum, autism spectrum, and I also have severe anxiety and acute depression, so this isn't really the best time for me. And anyone else who's having some like mental health issues, I just wanted to say, you are not alone. I believe that there is a mental health hotline that you can contact if you don't have a therapist. Please contact that. I would say look into that. Also, please call people you might not usually call. They will most likely appreciate you calling them, checking in on them. It doesn't even have to be a call. It can just be a text or like an emoji or something. So, yeah. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, thank you. And I hope that you're doing well. And until next time.